Hello again, welcome back to Max's Cards and Dice Dugout. This is episode number 115. Robert Max here. Hope everyone's doing well. And with the 149th running of the Preakness Stakes later on today, I thought, just as I did before the Kentucky Derby a few weeks ago, we'd get win, place, and show on the table and get another, in this case, Triple Crown year race. This is the Preakness Stakes from 1978. This was the 93rd running of the Preakness, and it was a Triple Crown year, of course, for Affirmed. This one is not coming from the pages of Avalon Hill's All-Star Replay. This was something I picked up on Board Game Geek. I believe it's based on formulas created by a man named Bruno Cross, who has released many race cards for win, place, and show. They're a bit on the pricey side, but are available on the auction site. But this set of Triple Crown races from 78 was posted on Board Game Geek with permission, so we're okay using that here. Let's set the field. Of course, there in the real 78 Preakness Stakes, there were 7 horses. Of course, we can only have 6 here in win, place, and show, and the number 1 horse, which is the red one, is Noontime Spender. Herberto Hinojosa is the jockey. Noontime Spender has a class of 61, a speed of 58, and he goes off at 9-1. And we are starting this race 5 spaces ahead of the 1.25 mile gate, because this is a 1 3/16 race. Okay, number 2, the black horse, is Believe It. Eddie Maple is the jockey. Class of 68, speed of 61, and he goes off at 5-2. Next is Alydar, one of the favorites. That's the blue horse. Jorge Velasquez is the jockey. Class of 72, speed of 63, going off at 2-1. Next is the number 4 horse. That's green. That's Dax S. Jack Kurtz is the jockey. 63 is the class, and a speed of 59, going off at 7-1. The brown horse, number 5, is Affirmed. Of course, Triple Crown winner in 1978. Steve Cawthon is the jockey. Class of 72, speed of 63, and the co-favorite, along with his rival Alydar. This is the 8th meeting of these 2 horses, or I should say the Preakness in 78 was the 8th meeting of the 2. And the white horse, number 6, is Indigo Star. Robert Fitzgerald is the jockey. Class of 63, speed of 58, going off at 8-1. So I think we're ready to go here. We roll 2 die. The white die determines which horse moves first. We add the 2 die together to get a movement factor that is added to the individual movement factor for each horse that they are given for every turn. And also we add the 2 die together to determine whether or not any of these horses get the 3 points bonus movement. And speaking of movement, since this is a stakes race, all the jockeys, of course, are veterans, so we won't be limited by the apprentice limitations, nor will there be any apprentice allowance. So they are in the gate and they are off. And moving first in this first turn is going to be Believe It. And on a roll of 6, Alydar will get the bonus. All right, so Believe It goes first here in turn 1. And he moves 4 plus 6 for a total of 10. He's going to stay in his lane because he lands on a passing square there. Next is Alydar. First turn he gets 6 plus 6 for a total of 12, plus 3 for the bonus for 15. So he moves into the rail. Next is Dax S. He gets 3 in turn 1 plus 6 for a total of 9. So he's moved in 1. Excuse me, now it's Affirmed. He gets 8 plus 6 for a total of 14. All right. Then it's Indigo Star. He gets 4 plus 6 for a total of 10. And lastly, in turn 1 is Noontime Spender. He gets 10 plus 6 for a total of 16. And I think he's going to be able to get his movement in. All right, so at the completion of turn 1, it is Noontime Spender 1 length ahead of Alydar, and 1 length behind them is Affirmed as we go to turn 2. And we roll a 2, and it's going to be Believe It again. And a roll of 6 again is Alydar with the bonus. All right, so Believe It in turn 2 is going to move 4. Excuse me, plus 6 for a total of 10. And Believe It is on a passing square, so he's going to go. And move into the rail. Next is Alydar. Alydar turn 2 is 6, plus 6 for 12, plus the bonus again for a total of 15. He's not on a passing square. So Alydar is into the clubhouse turn. Next is Dax S. Turn 2, he gets 4 plus 6 for a total of 10. He is not on a passing square. So he tucks in there behind Believe It. Next is Affirmed. Turn 2, he gets 7 plus 6 for a total of 13. He's going to stop here to stay on that passing square just in case he needs it. Next up, Indigo Star. Turn 2 gets 5 plus 6 for a total of 11. He'll sit there. And lastly, once again, is Noontime Spender. Turn 2, he gets 7 plus 6 for a total of 13. And I don't know if he's going to get them all in. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. He's going to stop at 11. You can stop up to 3 moves short of the full movement allowance in a turn to land on a passing square. And that's what Noontime Spender is going to do, and that's the end of turn 2. So it's still Alydar in the lead. Noontime Spender 3 lengths back, and another length back behind there is Affirmed. And we're going to go to turn 3. So far, I'd say a medium pace so far in this race. All right, turn 3, and we roll a 2. It's going to be Believe It again, moving first, and a roll of a 3 is not a bonus for anyone. All right, so Believe It gets to move first. We're in turn 3. It's 5 plus 3 for a total of 8. And Believe It is the black horse. He's going to move. He moves to the outside here as he heads into the clubhouse turn and finishes on a passing square. Excuse me. Next is Alydar. Turn 3, he gets 6 plus 3 for a total of 9. So he's heading into the back stretch. Now it's Dax S, a bit of a tongue twister. Turn 3, he gets 6 plus 3 for a total of 9. He is not on a passing square. I don't think he's going to get these all in. But he's going to move what he can. 1, 2, 3, 4. He moves 7. All right, next is Affirmed. Affirmed gets 6, plus 3 for 9. 9. And that's where he is, in the middle of the clubhouse turn. Next is Indigo Star. He gets 6 plus 3 for 9. And he's going to move in 1. And he's in the clubhouse turn. And lastly, once again, Noontime Spender. He is a 7 plus 3 for a total of 10. He's just going to ride the rail. Hopefully not moving first on turn 4. All right, so that completes turn 3, and it's still Alydar with Noontime Spender 2 lengths back, and 3 lengths back from that is Affirmed. And we go to turn 4. And going first in turn 4 is going to be Indigo Star, and on a roll of 7, Affirmed will get the bonus. So Indigo Star is going to go first, and in turn 4 he gets 7 plus 7 for a total of 14. And he's not going to be able to move that. He's not on a passing square. He's going to be stuck behind Affirmed. Noontime Spender is next, and he is not going to be able to move. All but 2. Some more bad luck. So that's it for Noontime Spender. Next is Believe It. And on turn 4, Believe It gets 8 plus 7 for 15. He stayed on the outside. And he is at the top of the backstretch. Next is Alydar. Turn 4, Alydar gets 6 plus 7 for 13. He's in the middle of the backstretch on the rail. Then it's Dax S. And Dax S on turn 4 gets 5 plus 7 for 12. And he is not on a passing square. He's going to have to stop 1 short here behind Noontime Spender. And lastly is Affirmed. Here in turn 4, he gets 5 plus 7 for 12, plus the bonus of 3 for a total of 15. All right, so at the completion of turn 4, it's still Alydar, but now it's Affirmed 3 lengths back, and in third is Believe It, just heading into the back stretch. So we go to turn 5, and let's see what happens here. It's going to be Dax S moving first, and on a roll of 10, Noontime Spender is going to get the bonus. All right. So in turn 5, Dax S moves 9 plus 10 for a total of 19, but he can't move because he's stuck behind Noontime Spender yet. So unfortunately for Dax S, no movement there. Next is Affirmed. On turn 5, he gets 6 plus 10 for a total of 16. He's going to Next is Indigo Star. Turn 5, he gets 9 plus 10 for a total of 19. He is on a passing square. He's going to tuck in behind Alydar, and he's on a passing square there. Next is Noontime Spender. In turn 5, he gets 6 plus 10 for 16 plus a bonus for 19. He is not on a passing square. He's going to only move 18 and stay on that passing square there. Next is Believe It. Turn 5, he's an 8 plus 10 for a total of 18. All right. And lastly is Alydar. And Alydar in turn 5 gets 7 plus 10 for a total of 17. He is not on a passing square, so he's going to go 1, 2. All right, so we completed turn 5, and it's still Alydar in the lead, 3 or 4 lengths ahead of Affirmed. And in third place right now is Believe It as we head to turn 6. And it's going to be Dax S again. And on a roll of 7, Affirmed is going to get the bonus. So in turn 6, Dax S gets to move 10. And is he going to be able to do it this time? Yes, he is, and he definitely needs it. So 10 plus 7 for a total of 17. 60, 70. Moves to the outside there. Next is Affirmed. Turn 6, he gets 6 plus 7 for a total of 13, plus a bonus of 3 for 16. And he is at the top of the stretch. Next is Indigo Star. Turn 6, Indigo Star gets 8 plus 7 for a total of 15. And he should be able to get this in. So he heads into the far turn. Next is Noontime Spender. Turn 6, he gets 6 plus 7 for 13. And he should be able to ride the rail. Next is Believe It, turn 6. He gets 8. And 7 for a total of 15. And is he on a passing square? Yes, he is. All right, so he's going to go. So he's in the middle of the far turn on the rail. And lastly would be Alydar. In turn 6, Alydar gets 7 plus 7 for 14. And as we finish turn 6, it is still Alydar, but now by 1 length over Affirmed with Believe It in third, and Noontime Spender just behind him. And here we go, turn 7, and going first is going to be Believe It, and on a roll of a 5, that bonus is going to go to Dax S. So Believe It will move first. In turn 7, he goes 8 plus 5 for a total of 13. He is not on a passing square, so he is not going to be able to complete his movement. He's only going to move 7. He's tucked in behind Affirmed, but he's on a passing square, which may help him next turn. So next is Alydar, and in turn 7, he moves 8 plus 5 for a total of 13. Approaching the wire, Dax S. In turn 7, he gets 8 plus 5 for 13, plus another 3 for 16. And he's going to move right in here. And he's in the far turn on a passing square. Next is Affirmed. Turn 7, he gets 7 plus 5 for a total of 12. So Alydar's built up a little bit more of a lead. He's 1 length ahead of Affirmed. Next is Indigo Star. Turn 7, he gets 7 plus 5 for a total of 12. And lastly is Noontime Spender. In turn 7, he gets 5 plus 5 for a total of 10. He is not on a passing square. He's only able to move 9 and tucks in behind Believe It. Okay, we go to turn 8. And this is turning out to be a close contest between Alydar and Affirmed, just like it was back in 1978. Let's see what happens. Turn 8. Dax S again moves first, and on a bonus roll of 8, that goes to Indigo Star. So it's going to be Dax S first, and on turn 8, he gets a 7 plus 8 for 15. That's Dax S. Here's Affirmed. Turn 8, he gets an 8 plus 8 for 16. So that's where Affirmed ends up. He's crossed the line. Next is Indigo Star. Turn 8, he gets 6. Plus 8 for 14, plus the bonus for a total of 17. And he has not crossed the wire. Next is Noontime Spender. And unfortunately for Noontime Spender, he is stuck behind Believe It. So he doesn't get to move again. Next is Believe It. And in turn 8, Believe It gets 8 plus 8 for a total of 16. Still has not crossed the finish line. And Alydar, who's next, 8 in turn 8 plus 8 for a total of 16. And I think this is going to be your winner. Wow, by 1 length over Affirmed. And that's it for turn number 8. So we have 2 horses who have crossed the finish line, and the winner of the 1978 Preakness Stakes in replay by 1 length is Alydar over Affirmed. Close race, just like it was in real life for those two. And we go to turn 9 to see who places, or excuse me, who shows, and to get the rest of the field's finish. All right, so in turn 9, we roll a 7. A 2 is going to be Believe It moving first, and a 7 is a bonus for Affirmed, who of course has finished the race. So we'll start with Believe It, and in turn 9, he gets 8 plus, what did I roll? An 8? I'm going to say I rolled an 8. I shouldn't have picked the dice up, but it's Believe It. I'm going to say he gets to move 16. So that's where he finishes, turn 9. And turn 9 for Alydar, who's finished the race, Dax S. Turn 9 gets 5 plus 8 for a total of 13. So he has crossed. Affirmed is finished. Indigo Star. Turn 9 gets 6 plus 8 for 14. 14, Indigo Star, and next is Noontime Spender. Turn 9, he gets 4, plus 8 for 12. And that completes turn 9. So we have finishing third is Believe It, followed by Indigo Star in fourth. Crossing the finish line in fifth is Stacks S, and bringing up the rear in sixth. We'll roll the die and let him do his final move. And that's Noontime Spender. Okay, so there you have it in a replay of the 1978 Preakness Stakes. This time out, it's Alydar over his rival Affirmed. And then in third place was Believe It, finishing fourth. Indigo Star, then in fifth, Dax S, and bringing up the rear in sixth, Noontime Spender. If you hung out with me today, thanks for spending a little bit of time with me. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you're betting the ponies today, good luck with that. And I'll be back again in the near future with another replay video. And until then, take care.